Hello again, and thank you for watching another instalment from my YouTube channel Benidorm and Beyond. Today I'm taking you to have a look along Passeig de la Carretera, or the walking street as we call it in English, on a late August afternoon. The walking street is approximately 300 metres long and is the main pedestrian street running through the Old Town, stretching from the bottom of the Avenida Rafafa along to the Dove Park at the start of the Poniente side of town. The street has 9 little roads leading off it, which take you up to the church and viewpoint, and all of them are just big enough to drive a car up, but are normally only used for deliveries. These little streets have many tapas bars on them which have a great atmosphere when busy, with a real taste of the Spanish culture to be found inside. The road can get very busy, especially in the early evening, with the Spanish having taken an evening stroll which is traditionally called the paseo, along with an occasional drink and chatter. There is an interesting bit of history to the name of this street. As I said, its proper name is Passeig de la Carretera, but to most English it is simply known as the walking street. When Benidorm barely existed as a town, the road was the main link between Benidorm and other towns such as Altea. The road was then called Camí d'Altea, basically meaning the road or pathway to Altea. It was also known as Carrer del Mar, Salamanca Street or Marqués de Comilla Street, until the term carretera was coined in the 1930s when the National Highway decided on the name. During the Civil War, the street changed its name once again, this time to Calle José Antonio, whose street plaque hung on this road for nearly 40 years. Finally, in the 1980s, it was definitively called Passeig de la Carretera. Nowadays, the street has a colloquial name amongst the locals, which I won't say on the video as I might get censored by YouTube, but needless to say, it is a bit vulgar and there has been much consternation about this in the past. The legend behind the name is that everyone was happy with the title Passeig de la Carretera until one day, 2 neighbours from the north of Spain met in the middle of this street. "Damn, what are you doing around here?" they said to each other. Those 2 were then followed by another 2, and another 4, and another 1,000. And finally, after repeating the word so much, this being the vulgar word that isn't really just damn, they ended up using this slang name for the street, and it has stuck ever since. As you can see here, the Boca del Calvary Museum can be found facing the walking street, although its entrance is just round the corner on Carrer de Tomás Ortuño. This small free-to-visit museum is located in a house where the old town hall stood until the mid-70s. The property was donated by Gaspar Ortuño Ors in 1916. In exchange, the City Council promised to maintain and conserve the Ortuño family resting place located in the municipal cemetery. The property was completely demolished, and in its place a new building was erected to serve as a museum's headquarters. At first they wanted to rebuild the building as it was, but later it was decided to give it a touch of modernity with the ground floor equipped with a large glass window. At a cost of €1.6 million from the trust plan of the Valencian government, the demolition works concluded at the beginning of 2012, and the construction took place during the following 12 months, not without stoppages and problems. The museum was finally opened in March 2015. It is dedicated to temporary exhibitions relating to the history of Benidorm and the area, and although small, is worth a short visit if you are passing. As you can see in this footage, it is a bustling thoroughfare, used as much to walk through one end of town to the other as to stop and shop at one of the many boutiques and outlets, or just have a bite to eat. One of the most notable shops on the street is the Viandas Hacienda Sodita store, which will immediately come to your attention with their delicious window display of Iberian ham baguettes and cones of cheese and salamis tempting you in. The store opened its Benidorm branch in 2018, but has more than 30 stores throughout Europe, including the United Kingdom and France. It offers an assortment of the finest Iberian ham from Salamanca that the company cuts on the spot in front of you, as well as their own wine products from their wineries and cheese from their own cheese factory, producing raw sheep and goat milk cheeses. They also have their own virgin olive oil and balsamic vinegar with more than 10 years of history. A small eating and tasting area is also available on the first floor, giving you views of the street and bustling pedestrians below. The walking street surprisingly offers 2 accommodation options, which are always popular with Spanish holidaymakers as they do like to stay in the thick of things. The first hotel is the 3-star Milord Suites found at the Dove Park end of the street, and this apart hotel consists of 28 apartments along with their popular cafe and ice cream shop below. The 2-star Hotel Internacional can be found slightly further along and is a small family hotel which opened back in 1969. I started this video from the Dove Park end of the street and will now leave you to watch the remainder of the video while listening to some Latin music. If you enjoyed this video, please like it and consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. And if you would like notifications of future videos, just hit the bell notification button and you will be informed of any new videos as soon as I upload them. Also, feel free to drop me a line in the comments section if there is something or somewhere you would particularly like me to include in the future, and I'll see what I can do. For those of you who have only just found my channel Benidorm and Beyond, I enjoy not only videoing the bustling resort of Benidorm, but also the beautiful local area, including the nearby villages and towns, which can mostly all be reached by local transport at very reasonable prices. I'll see you out and about next time. Cheers!